Resident Evil. Yes, Resident Evil. Also known as Biohazard in Japan, is a survival horror game developed and released by Capcom. Originally for the PlayStation 1 in 1996. The first game in the Resident Evil series follows the game's plot of Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. You know what? Everyone already knows all this sort of stuff. We're here to talk about the Sega Saturn release, which was released in 1997. So, like a whole year after the first release of the game.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission. You haven't found it?
The Sega Saturn version added an unlockable battle game, in which the player must traverse through a series of rooms from the main game and eliminate all enemies within them, with the weapon selected by the player. The minigame features two exclusive enemies not in the main game, a zombie version of Wesker and a gold-coloured tyrant. The player's performance is graded at the end of the minigame. The Japanese version is the most gore-laden of all the platforms. After decapitating a crawling zombie with a kick, the head remains on the floor, and Plant 42 can cut the character before the game over screen. The Saturn version also features exclusive enemy monsters such as the reskinned breed of hunter known as Ticks, and a second tyrant prior to the game's finale battle. Exclusive outfits for Jill and Chris were also added to the Saturn version. And in my opinion, Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn is the perfect example of an almost flawless port to a different system, with the beautiful graphics, minus the odd blemish here and there, much improved over the PlayStation. There are some noticeable front-end differences between the Sega Saturn version and the PlayStation original, in way fonts are used and a slight difference in the resolution. Upon actually beginning the game, or loading a game, which is significantly faster on the Sega Saturn, you notice that it is very much like you remember it on the PlayStation. I don't care what anyone ever says ever about Resident Evil, but this is by far the best opening to a game I've ever seen. I mean, that acting dough, it's absolutely amazing. I think someone deserves an Oscar for this.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
What is this?
Wow, what a mansion!
To add, I'd like to say my pros for this. It is everything that you remember from the original PlayStation version, intact and probably improved far better. Beautiful graphics with much improved character models and skins. The controls actually fit the Sega Saturn controller fantastically, may I add. Load times are a lot shorter on the Saturn, and the new battle mode gives you an incentive to keep playing after the credits roll. I do have some little minor things wrong with it, which are some oddly out of place textures. There are some transparency issues, and the controls and inventory management will not appeal to the average action gamer.
A dining room. What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
But all in all, can I recommend Resident Evil for the Sega Saturn? Yes, it is absolutely fantastic. This is probably one of the best ports of this game I think I've ever played. I may even go as far to say it's probably better than the PlayStation one. Nah. I actually still own it on PlayStation. I love it on that too. Buy this game.
What could possibly go wrong?